if you means that do it. Burger
Welcome to the third hour of the third episode of Airchexx. I'm your host, Ty Rosenau. The BBC came out with a comedy series called Life With The Lyons. The original broadcast was October 4th, 1951, entitled Life of the Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, Life with the Lyons. Once again, we'd like you to meet the Lyon family.
I'm Richard Lyon.
I'm Barbara Lyon.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Bibi Daniels Lyon.
And here they are in the life of the party.
I'm in here with the kids, honey. We're looking through the trunk I had on tour with me in Variety.
What for? For Daddy's old gag book. He needs some jokes for his speech tonight at Mary Clinker's dinner party.
Say, Pop, this old Variety trunk of yours has certainly been places. Just look, Barbara. The King's Arms in Aberdeen, the Caravan Hotel in Liverpool, the Red Lion in Clontarf, the Ritz Hotel in Paris. There must be at least 50 towels here.
Oh, stop exaggerating. Well, there are only 46 towels. Say, how did we get a towel from the YWCA? I never stopped there.
That was a wedding present from Vic Oliver.
Oh, yes, he stayed at the YWCA until his voice changed. Yes.
What do you want this old underground ticket for, Daddy? Oh, I saved that to remind me of the first time your father kissed me. Oh, how romantic.
Was it on an underground train, honey?
Yes, we were traveling by tube when all the lights went out and suddenly you grabbed me and kissed me. I remember. Your mustache tickled.
Well, Bibi, I never had a mustache in my life.
Say, that's right, you didn't. Well, anyway, that's when I first fell in love with you.
Well, it was probably Sam Costa.
Hey, Richard, what's that you just took out of the trunk?
One of Pop's old songs. It's got swell words.
Well, read them.
Okay. Matilda, Matilda, your hair is so black. Your nice black hair is hanging down your back. I love you, Matilda, my black-haired Matilda. Matilda, Matilda, my black-haired Matilda.
Well, that sounds like a lovely song. What's the title?
Jeannie with the light brown hair.
I still don't see the gag book.
Say, Ma, here are a pair of your spangled tights.
Oh, those aren't mine. Those are your father's. When he was younger, he used to do an adagio act with a girl called Helen Hodgers. Oh, he was fearless.
Oh, and Helen was brave, too. You know, it takes a lot of nerve to be thrown 20 feet up in the air and wait for your partner to catch you.
Yes, but Helen never dropped you once.
Here's your gag book, Pop.
Oh, good. Now I can get on with my speech.
Kids, it's almost time for lunch. You better go and get cleaned up. Oh, okay, Mother. Come on, Richard.
I'm coming. One of these days I'll wash myself away.
We'll take that chance.
Oh, Bibi, look, here's a very funny story in my gag book about a monocle that'll fit perfectly at the beginning of my speech. Listen how I work it in. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends, as I look at our guest of honor, the mayor of Marble Arch, I'm reminded of a story. It seems that...
Ben, I heard a terribly funny story at the beauty parlor yesterday that would make a wonderful opening for your speech. Oh, it's so funny.
Well, look, I've got a good joke for my opening. As I look at our... Well, Baby, please.
Oh, I can't help it, Ben. It's the funniest story I've ever heard.
Well, if it's that funny, let's hear it.
I wish I could remember it.
Look, I'll use the story I have. As I look at
Look, why do you have to write a whole new speech? Why don't you change the names and use the same one you did for Marlena Dietrich?
Oh, that would be just fine. I'd be saying, and now we pay tribute to the mayor of Marble Arch, who is a grandmother, but still has the most beautiful legs in the world.
Oh, all right. I'll go and see if lunch is ready.
Good. Thank goodness. Now, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends, as I look at our guest of honor, I'm reminded of a grandmother with a marble arch. Oh, darn it. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends. Oh, I'll get it. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Fox, sir. Well, I didn't think I'd come to the office today. You see, I'm making a speech and presenting Mayor Clinker with a gold watch. Oh, it's all right if I don't come today? Oh, it's all right if I don't come any day. But, sir, I worked very late last night, and I've got some wonderful ideas for the new picture. What will I do with them? Mr. Fox! All right. I'll throw them in the wastepaper basket, and I'll work overtime tomorrow. Goodbye, sir.
Come on, Ben, and eat your lunch.
All right, dear.
Barbara, will you pass the potatoes?
Here you are, Richard. Excuse me, Mother. Barbara, be careful. Those potatoes are hot. There, you dropped one down the neck of my blouse.
Gosh, Ma, did it burn your neck?
No, Barbara's wearing the blouse.
How many times have I told you to leave your mother's clothes alone, Barbara? You have plenty of your own.
Well, I had to have something new to wear. My boyfriend Bill is coming for tea.
Another boyfriend? What happened to the last one?
None of your business. And don't waste your time making any cracks when Bill gets here because he happens to like me.
You know, Barbara, some people like bread and jam because they don't use their butter. And some people like bread and butter because they don't use their jam. And some people like you because they don't use their loaf.
Oh, Richard. Richard, eat your lunch and leave your sister alone.
Thank you, Mother. I'm sure you and Daddy will like Bill. He's Mayor Clinker's son, you know.
Oh, sure we'll like him, baby, even if he is a little silly.
Daddy, how can you say he's silly? You don't even know him.
Well, everybody knows a mayor's offspring is a little foal. Oh, dear, I made a pony.
Don't laugh so much, Pop. It'll make you a little hoarse.
Say, I might work that into my speech.
Oh, please don't, Daddy. Please, I die.
All right, baby.
If you've all finished your haggis, I'll bring the plums and custard.
Oh, not for me, Aggie. I'll have some of that treacle pudding instead.
Oh, treacle pudding isn't good for your stomach, Mr. Lyon. It's thick and fat and bulky.
Now, don't talk that way about my stomach.
Oh, Ben, by thick and fat and bulky, Aggie meant the pudding, not your tummy. I don't know, though.
Well, anyway, I want treacle pudding.
But plums and custard are better for you.
Aggie, I don't want to be rude, but I want treacle pudding, and I'm going to have treacle pudding.
I'll be back in a minute.
Pop, do you think you should have talked to Aggie like that?
Why not? Aggie's like one of the family, but she has to realize that no woman tells me what to eat. After all, I'm the head of the house. I want treacle pudding.
Mr. Lyon, here's your plums and custard.
Aggie, Oh, thanks, Aggie.
Oh, that must be my new boyfriend, Bill.
Does he always bark like that?
Oh, Barbara.
Be still, Richard.
Barbara, answer the door.
Richard, answer the door.
Pop told you to answer it.
I'm putting on some lipstick.
What for? He'll only kiss it off.
Oh, you're so common.
At least I don't change my girlfriends every week.
That's because you haven't got a girlfriend.
Is that so? I've got girlfriends in the four corners of the world.
Then why is it I never see you out with any of them?
I can't make them come out of the corners.
Will one of you kids please answer the door?
Oh, I will, Daddy. Now, Richard, remember, if this is Bill, be friendly.
Hello, beautiful.
Oh, Bill, do come in. You're just in time for tea. This is my brother, Richard.
Hi, how are the wife and kids?
Wife and kids, I'm not married.
I know, but it seems such a friendly way to start a conversation.
Tea, Bill?
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
Oh, do me a favor, Bill. Pass the sugar, will you?
Well, why don't you ask me to do something difficult? I'd do anything for you, Barbara. I'd climb the highest mountain. I'd swim the deepest ocean. I'd even go through fire for you.
Well, so this is Mayor Clinker's son, eh?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, don't get up, son, don't get up. I just thought I'd try out my speech on you.
Oh.
Now, here's one of my jokes. I call it the love story of the two monocles. The boy monocle said to the girl monocle, "Darling, let's get joined together in matrimony." And the girl monocle said, "What? And make a spectacle of ourselves?"
Wouldn't you like to hear another one, Bill?
Barbara, couldn't I just climb the highest mountain?
Hey, Mr. Lyons, could I see you for a minute?
Oh, be right there, Aggie. Oh, what do you want, Aggie?
Have you seen my wrapping paper?
No, I haven't. Say, what's that thing you have in your hand?
Oh, this. Oh, it's a wee wig for my cousin Willie.
A wee wig? Oh, I see. You mean a toupee.
Aye, what you said. Well, it's a birthday present for him. You see, last month he had a most unfortunate accident. He was out walking with his lass, and a hunter mistook him for a duck.
Probably the way he was walking.
Aye. Well, the hunter took careful aim, and with one shot, riddled his wig.
Well, was Cousin Willie hurt?
No, but the shot turned his wig white.
Say, that's a very funny story. Maybe I can work that into my speech. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends, it seems a young Scotchman was mistaken for a duck.
Oh, Ben, has that watch for Mayor Clinker arrived yet?
No, but it should be here any minute. While I'm waiting, I think I'll rehearse my speech again. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends. Oh, that's probably the watch now. Come in.
Florrie, darling.
Hello, Bibi. Oh, nice hot in here.
Well, you're just in time. Ben's rehearsing his speech.
Oh, that explains the hot air.
Florrie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bibi. I was only joking. Carry on with your speech, Ben.
All right. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends, as I look at Mayor Clinker, I'm reminded of a story. It seems that...
Oh, Ben, I heard a wonderful story that will suit your speech perfectly.
I've got a story. Now, please.
You see, a husband said to his wife, "Why don't you darn the holes in my socks?" And she said, "Because you won't buy me that fur wrap I want. And if you don't give a wrap, I don't give a darn."
Oh, Florrie, please don't interrupt Ben again. He's had so many interruptions today.
Thanks, dear, thanks. Now, let's see. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends...
I hope you don't think I was rude, Florrie. It's just that he hasn't had a time to go right through his speech. Go ahead, dear.
Thanks. Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends...
Now, when a friend's trying to concentrate, people keep interrupting them. They lose their trend of thought. Go ahead, dear.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends...
You see how much better it is when we don't interrupt him? Go on, darling.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends...
Oh, it's a wonderful speech. What do you say next? Now, Ben, if you can't remember, it's no good pounding your head with your fist.
I think we'd better leave him alone, Bibi.
Well, that's the most sensible thing you've ever said in your entire ridiculous life.
Ben!
I'm sorry, Florrie, but you two have been driving me out of my head.
Oh, come on, Florrie. We'll go in and have a cup of tea.
Good. I've got to get some more facts on the mayor's life so I can finish him. I mean his speech.
Well, I've got an idea. I'll go over to his house and interview him. You can come too, Florrie.
Oh, how wonderful. What a thrill.
What's so wonderful and thrilling about seeing the mayor?
He's a man, isn't he?
Come on, Florrie, let's go.
No, Bibi, I'd rather get the information myself.
All right. Come on in the kitchen, honey.
Oh, now, who could that be? Come in. Oh, hello, Wimple. I see you haven't dislodged that whistle you swatted last week.
No, and it's got me into solid trouble.
How?
Well, the factory on my street threatened to sue me.
Why?
Well, I was passing there at 10 o'clock this morning. I took a deep breath, and my whistle blew, and everybody knocked off for lunch.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's not the half. I was out walking with the missus just now. I'd passed some pretty girls.
And your whistle blew again?
That's right. And a dozen of them followed me home.
Girls?
No, dogs.
Oh, you are in a bad way. We better do something about it. Now, where's the whistle lodged?
Well, I don't know. I can hear it, but I can't locate it. This morning it was in the throat, then it vanished clean as a...
Well, look, maybe if I poke you in the ribs with my finger, I can locate it.
Okie doke. But don't dig too hard.
I won't. Now, let's see. Is it here?
No.
Well, is it here?
No.
Here? No, it couldn't be there, I guess. Well, is it here? That's it! Oh, that's it, Whipple, I found it. Now hold still and drink this glass of water, and I'll try to dislodge it.
All right.
Good. Now I'll give you a dig on both sides and see if the water will move it.
There. How's that?
No good. You better go in the kitchen and get some hot water. Beebe and Mrs. Wainwright are in there.
Okie doke.
Now, let's see. I better try my speech again. Now, let's see. Where was I?
Hey, Mrs. L and Mrs. Wainwright aren't in the kitchen.
Holy smoke. I hope they haven't gone over to Mayor Clinker's house. No, I told Beebe not to. She wouldn't dare. No, she wouldn't dare.
Here we are, Florrie. This is Mayor Clinker's house. I'll ring the bell.
Oh, what a thrill to be meeting the mayor. If he comes to the door himself, I hope somebody pinches me.
Well, don't count on it, Florrie. He's a very nice man.
Why, hello, Mrs. Lyon. Won't you come in?
Oh, thank you, Mayor Clinker.
And who's this behind you? Your father?
What? Oh, no. This is my friend, Mrs. Wainwright.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the fault of the light in here. I'll make it dimmer. How do you do, Mrs. Wainwright?
Oh, a kiss on the hand. What a charming greeting. So few people kiss one's hand nowadays.
That's no reason why you should kiss mine.
Your Honor, we came to get a few facts about your life. You see, Ben is going to make a speech at your dinner.
Yes, so I've been warned. I mean, told.
Oh. Well, tell me all about yourself, and I'll make notes for Ben. When did you get your start?
Well, I was raised on a farm in Australia.
Well, that certainly beats farms over here. All they can raise is vegetables.
This can't be true.
Well, so much for your boyhood days. Now for the present. How old are you?
You mean before we started this interview or now? I've aged considerably.
No. How old are you now? And tell me the truth, Your Honor. I do think it's silly for people to lie about their age.
Well, I'd say I'm about the same age as you.
Imagine that, Florrie. He's a mayor already, and he's only 32.
Your Honor, I understand you were a great hunter. You must have had some very exciting experiences.
Yes, and a few narrow escapes. See that bear rug in front of the fireplace?
Yes.
Well, he attacked me. It's a very rare type of bear, very ferocious. He actually clawed all my clothes off.
Oh, that must have been awful. A rare bear fighting a bear mare.
Very funny. Well, eventually I shot him, and a good thing, too. If I hadn't got him, he'd have got me.
Well, I'm awfully glad you got him. He makes a much better rug.
Thank you.
Is that the most nerve-wracking experience you ever had?
No, it was the second most nerve-wracking.
Really? What was the first?
It isn't over yet.
Oh, well, I think we've got all we need for Ben's speech, and thanks a lot. Goodbye, Your Honor.
Goodbye. Oh, thank heavens that's over.
Humphrey, isn't it time you started to get ready for your dinner party?
Oh, yes, Martha, dear.
And for goodness sake, don't go with your hair in such a mess. Just look in the mirror.
Yes, it needs combing. I'll do it now.
Oh, you're not doing it right here. Give me your comb. I'll do it for you.
All right, dear.
I'll comb it straight back. There, that's better. Here's your comb.
Thank you.
And here's your hair.
Thank you. I'll put it on.
Oh, by the way, Humphrey, I shouldn't really tell you, but they're presenting you with something special at the dinner party tonight.
Oh, I'll be sure to act surprised.
Straighten your wig, dear. It's a little crooked.
Thank you, Martha. I certainly wouldn't like anyone to know that I wear a wig.
Well, I'll sprinkle some salt on your shoulders so they'll think it's dandruff.
Thank you, Martha.
Oh, Ben, I'm back. Where are you?
I'm in the den rehearsing my speech.
Oh, I had a wonderful talk with the mayor.
Oh, I hope you talk sensibly.
Of course I did. At first, he might have thought that I had a lot of crazy ideas in my head, but I only had to talk to him for a few minutes before he realized there was nothing in it.
Yeah, that I can understand. Did you get any information, anything I can use in my speech?
Oh, yes, he's a hunter. He was born in Australia, and I found out something very important. You couldn't give him a better present. He's just crazy about watches.
Well, how did you find that out?
Well, all the time I was talking to him, he kept taking out his watch and looking at it.
What? That's very nice to know.
Did the watch arrive?
Yes, and it's a beauty. I gave it to Aggie to wrap. Will you see if she's finished it yet?
Of course, dear.
I'll get it. Oh, hello, Wimple. Come right on. Come in, Wimple.
Yes, Mr. L. I think that water cure of yours did the trick. Hasn't been a whistle out of me since.
Good.
So I thought I'd come over and give you a hand.
Doing what?
Well, you've got to make a speech. Thought maybe I could help soothe your nerves.
Oh, I'm not nervous, Wimple.
Yet.
Well, don't worry. I won't be.
Good. Now, when I make a speech, I'll get very nervous. Twist my words around.
What do you mean?
Well, when I was running for a councillor, I had a slogan. Elect me and get a house on your land. But instead I said, elect me and get a louse on your hand.
Well, that's awful. Oh, but Wimple, that couldn't happen to me.
Oh, of course not. No. Mr. Earl, you said you weren't a bit nervous?
No, I'm not a nit nervous.
You said you weren't a nit nervous?
No, I did not. I said I'm not a bit nervous.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. If ever not better my fight.
I say, you better sit down and relax. I'll go and speak to Mrs. Earl.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wimple. How's Ben's speech coming along?
No, it isn't. He's in a shocking state.
Oh.
His nerves are gone.
Oh, you must be mistaken. Ben isn't the nervous type.
Oh, I don't know.
Shall I go and see?
Well, go in and see for yourself.
All right. Hello, honey.
Oh, hello, dear. Am I glad to see you?
What did you say, Mr. Earl?
I said, am I glad to gee goo?
Oh, well, I'm glad to giggle, too.
Yes, you'd better relax, Mr. Earl.
Yes, darling. Try not to think about your speech. Look at the bright side. Maybe you won't even get there. A flat tire, an accident. The car may overturn.
Let's go back to the dark side.
Well, now that we've cheered you up, how do you feel?
Oh, terrible. Hey, where did I get this ball of wool?
Well, you've been sitting there unraveling my underwear.
Oh, that's done it. I'm getting out of here. Where's the mayor's present? Where's the watch I'm giving him?
I don't know. I couldn't find Aggie.
Well, I can't go without it.
Oh, there's the box on the hall table. Didn't she wrap it prettily?
Yes, come on, Wimple.
All right.
Good luck with your speech, darling, and don't be nervous.
I told you before I'm not nervous.
Of course you aren't. Goodbye, dear.
But Guy Beer.
Well, Mr. Lyon, here's the... Well, Mr. Lyon,
He's gone to the mayor's dinner party.
but I thought he wanted to take the watch along with him.
He took it. That's funny. It was wrapped in a box just like the one you have in your hand.
No, this is the watch. Mr. Lyon must have taken Cousin Willie's wig.
No. Cousin Willie's wig.
Aye, it was in the hall table. Who gave it to him?
I did. Oh, Barbara, Richard, come on in here and help your poor old ma, will you, kid?
What's the matter?
What is it, Mother? Oh, we must stop your father from making that speech. He'll never live it down.
Oh, his speech isn't that bad.
Get the car out of the garage. We can't. The car isn't working. What's wrong with it? I drove it this morning.
Ma, you've answered your own question.
Well, we'll have to do something. He's taking Willie's wig instead of the watch.
Oh, no,
Hey, now be calm, everybody. Be calm. It won't help to lose your heads.
I'll telephone the banquet room. Now, let's see. Marble Arch, 7124.
Mother!
Quiet here. Now, quiet. Hello? Hello? There's no answer. Hello? Why don't they answer?
Mother!
Yes? Take the receiver off the hook. Oh, the receiver.
Ma, let me do it.
I wish you'd all stop being so nervous. Hello? Hello? May I speak to Blisterland Byam, please? What do you mean you can't understand me?
I'll take it, Ma. Hello? May I speak to Mr. Lyon? What? Gee. Okay, thanks.
What do they say, Richard?
They've locked the doors to the banquet room and nobody's allowed in until after the speeches.
Poor Ben, just like old times, locking the doors when he's on. Poor Daddy. Poor Daddy. I wonder what he's doing now.
Probably getting ready to make his speech.
Dinner's over. It's about time for your speech, Mr. Earl. Nervous?
No, and stop asking me.
Not even a little bit nervous?
No, not even a fiffle biff. Oh, there, you made me do it again, Wimple.
Oh, Mr. L., you've dropped the box off the table.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Wimple.
That's a nicely wrapped box, Lion. Looks like a gift. Somebody's birthday.
No, Mayor Clinker. It's not what you think it is.
Oh, you can tell me I can keep a secret?
Oh, no. That would spoil all the fun.
Go on, tell me. I'll keep it under my hat.
Oh, you'll find out soon enough, Mr. Mayor. Just keep your hair on.
Pray silence for Councillor Whipple.
Now, here's where I introduce you, Mr. L. Gentlemen, and you too, Mayor Clinker, I've known Mr. L for the last 30 years, and I can truthfully say that in the whole neighborhood there is not one man that I've known longer. I thank you.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, and friends, as I look Mayor Clinker in the face, I'm reminded of an old boomerang. I'm reminded of an Australian story. It seems a young Australian boy was given a boomerang, and the poor kid went crazy trying to throw the old one away. Oh, I've got a lot of these jokes, but you didn't come here to listen to my jokes, did you?
I say, get on with it.
Quiet, Wimple, quiet. We are here tonight to honor a great citizen of Marble Arch. I refer to none other than Mayor Humphrey Clinker.
Here.
And to express our appreciation, we have a little gift for you, Mayor Clinker. We know you have several of them at home, but we feel sure you want to add this special one to your collection. It's something that you'll not only wear, but we hope you'll hand it down to your children and grandchildren to wear. So please take it, Mr. Mayor. Take this present with our very best wishes and put it on.
What is it?
Quiet, the mayor's unwrapping it.
Thank you, my friends, for this.
Blimey, a wig.
A wig? Oh, no!
It couldn't be a wig. It's a racing pigeon.
What, with a parting in it?
It's a wig! Oh, Lion, this is outrageous, utterly outrageous. Explain yourself immediately. I demand an explanation. Give me a story. Quickly, man, what's your story?
Well, my story? Yes, it seems a boomerang was given to a young Australian boy.
Don't look so sad.
Oh, I can't help it, dear. I'm a ruined man. They'll throw me out of my club now. Why do things like this always happen to me?
Barbara, where's Ma?
Oh, she's on the phone trying to explain things to the mayor and the newspapers.
Why don't you stop her, Pop?
Because nothing can be worse than it is.
Well, then you can smile again. I fixed everything. The mayor was laughing about the wig when I hung up. So were the newspaper men.
They were?
Yes. And I even explained it so they wouldn't think that you'd been silly enough to get Aggie's parcel mixed with the mayor's.
Oh, that's wonderful, darling. What did you tell them?
I told him it was your wig.
My wig? Oh, no!
Life with the Lyons, with Phoebe Daniels and Ben Lyon, were their children, Barbara and Richard. Also in this recording were Doris Rogers, Molly Weir, Horace Percival, David Enders, Philip Ray, and Cecile Chevrolet. The script was by Phoebe Daniels, Bob Block, and Bill Harding. The dance orchestra was conducted by Stanley Black, with incidental music by Arthur Wilkinson. Production by Tom Ronald.
That was the Life with the Lyons, entitled Life of the Party, originally broadcasted on October 4th, 1951. Here's Radioactive, which was a spoof of the radio industry in the 80s, entitled as The Late Show with Mike Channel.
Road London, SW3. That's the address to write to, remember, if you'd like to sleep with Barry Sheen. And now we welcome Radio 4 listeners who join us for the next few hours on 92.95 metres, that's 87.4 metres, that's 581 kilohertz medium wave until 2 o'clock. Thereafter 390 metres, that's 740 kilohertz long wave in mono, and vice versa. It's 14 minutes past exactly here on Radioactive, Britain's first national local radio station, which means, of course, that it's time to join Mike Channel for The Late Show.
Broadcasting to you locally, nationwide. This is your favourite local radio station, the Get Up and Go station, the station that puts action first. It's Radioactive. Welcome along to The Late Show. My name's Mike Channel. And let me straight away tell you that the weather forecast for tomorrow is dry and sunny with a high of 94 degrees centigrade. That's 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And first off tonight, let's go over to Mike Flex, who's waiting in our other studio. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Good to see you.
Yes, it must be.
Great.
Terrific, yeah.
Well, what have you got on for us tonight, Mike?
Oh, just the usual pair of jeans.
Terrific.
Super, yeah. But, no, but seriously, Mike, I've got the results of last week's joke competition.
Super.
Right, it is. And the winner is a Mr. D. Frost. And he has sent us in this prize-winning joke, and I hope you like it. It goes like this. Question: what time is it when an elephant sits on your fence? Answer: time to get a new... Sorry, looks like fridge. Could be fork, fleece? Fleece? No, I don't know. Anyway, he's won it, so this week's pound note goes to him. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. It's 19 minutes past exactly here on Radioactive, and I'll be with you throughout the night, bringing you traffic reports, time checks, music, time checks, the usual competitions and phone-ins, time checks, and a host of other great features and time checks. And right away, with the time at 19 minutes past, here's our first request of the evening, and it comes from Zoe of Maidenhead. She asked us to say hi to Trevor. She says she's sorry, Trevor, and hopes you're still able to cycle. Good luck with the op, she says, and see you soon in court. So, here we are, Zoe, the record you asked for, undoubtedly one of the greatest singers of all time, one that needs no introduction. It's 19 minutes past.
Thank you. A few weeks ago, when I was in Tampa, little black boy, I remember now his name was Kunta Kinta, he came up to me and said, "Have you seen my gecko?" And I said, "Your gecko?" And he said, "Yeah, it's a kind of green lizard. Starts small, grows big, sheds its tail when it gets scared." And I said, "Son, it's curious you should mention that, because a few weeks ago I recorded a song about that very subject, which got to #1 in the charts incidentally, and there and then I sang in this self-same song, and I hope you enjoy this self-same song too." As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morn, a light green baby lizard is born, Tim the gecko. And a young boy cries, 'cause if there's one thing that he don't need, it's a reptile he's expected to feed, Tim the gecko. People, don't you get upset, a child needs a little pet, or he'll grow to be an angry young man one day. Speaking sociologically, better run a menagerie than let him simply turn his head and switch on the TV. Well, the world turns, and a hungry little boy with a runny nose never guesses that the wanderlust grows in Tim the gecko. And the lizard yearns, and he starts to roam his cage at night, and he finds out where the joints aren't tight. Clever gecko. Then one night in wild elation, the gecko breaks away. He leaves his cage when the house is hushed. He hits the streets, but he gets crushed as a car rolls by. Some kids gather around a light green mess in the middle of the street, but they don't guess it's Tim the Gecko. Stupid gecko. And when the young boy wakes on a cold and gray Chicago morn, another little light green lizard is born. Jim the Gecko. And no one mourns. Tim the Gecko. Tim the Gecko. Tim the Gecko.
That was lovely old dead Elvis there, with a song he recorded while he was still alive. And right now, here's a message from our traffic department, just been handed to me, and it says, beware of traffic. Okay. Well, it's coming up to 4 a.m, and what better time to go over to our roving reporter Nigel Pry for our recipe of the day.
Well, I'm in the kitchen of a Mr. Roy Ferris. Hello. Hello, Roy. Yep. Who's been keeping pretty secretive about what he's cooking here. Roy, are you going to tell us about this secret recipe of yours?
No, it's a secret.
But you are going to tell us about it, aren't you?
Yeah, all right, just a joke. Anyway, yeah, well, first of all, you take about a pint of water and you pour it into a saucepan.
And what do you do then?
Well, then you put it on the stove and you boil the water.
Right. So the ingredients so far?
The ingredients so far are about a pint of water, a saucepan, and some warm... Heat, that's right. Yeah.
So, what then?
Well, then when the water's boiling nicely, you take an egg...
An egg?
And you drop it in.
Into the water?
Oh, that's right, into the water, that's correct. That's absolutely vital, by the way. And you leave it there for about 3 to 4 minutes until it's done.
I see.
Now, I've got one over here I did earlier. Perfect.
Yes, that's it, is it?
Yep, mate, simple as that.
Yes, this is in fact a boiled egg, isn't it?
Pardon?
This is what I would call a boiled egg.
Oh, no, this is what I would call œuf boilu.
In English?
A boiled egg.
So you simply crack the egg open and eat it, is that right?
Oh, no, mate, I drink it.
You drink the egg?
No, I drink the boiling water, stupid. Oh, it's remarkably tasty, that. You don't want to eat the egg. You throw that away. You don't want to eat that.
Why not?
Well, that's come out of a hen's bum.
Sounds delicious. Well, you're listening to Radioactive, the station which, when it comes to quality, stops at nothing. And a further message from our traffic department now, which says that there are traffic jams on several major roads very often at this time of night, and it's a jolly good idea to try and avoid them if you can. It's 5 minutes to the hour.
Radioactive news at night.
Good evening. No, it's me.
Good evening. No, it's me.
Good evening. Here is the news. President Reagan meets heads of state in Washington.
I haven't got it.
What?
I haven't got it.
Say something.
President Reagan today met heads of state in Washington. A threat made to famous film star. Go on.
A famous film star was today threatened. The film star, whose name is currently on everyone's lips, apart from mine, was today subject to this threat. The Labour Party, a new move by Tony Benn.
Tony Benn is to move. He'll probably take most of his things with him when he goes. but he may leave one or two things to pick up later. When he's got a truck or something. Coal miners agree new lump payment scheme.
The coal miners today agreed on a lump payment scheme, which is new. Mm-hmm. Negotiations continue to decide the number of lumps. And now...
That is the end of the news, read to you tonight by James Gordon Alexander and... James Gordon Alexander and...
Where am I? I don't know who you are. Look in your collar.
A Moss Bros. Well, football managers have been much in the news recently, and the move by several club chairmen this week to put their managers on a new 36-hour contract has been seen by many of them as a possible threat to the likelihood of their long-term employment. Well, this week, for our regular Behind Closed Doors feature, on-the-spot reporter Nigel Pry went along to see controversial manager John Pratt, sacked 3 times in 1 week and then once more only 48 hours before he took up the position, to find out just how he inspires so much loyalty in his side.
Right. Is everyone here?
Yeah.
Good. Right. Now, you all know the reason we're gathered here today, don't you?
No.
No? Well, Pete, you tell them. We got a match? Right, we've got a match. We're here to play football, aren't we? Aren't we? Yes, we are. Now, we're playing against City today, and if we beat them, we stand a pretty good chance of getting through to the semi-finals. And if we win that, what do we reach, eh? Eh, John?
The final.
Right, the final. Good boy. Then what? What if we win that? What do we win then, eh? Eh, John?
The final.
Not the final, the cup. We win the cup if we win that, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't answer back. I've only got 2 words to say to you all right? First word, goals, all right?
Goals.
Second word, fire.
Fire.
Now, last game there was practically no goals at all. Now, why was that, eh?
Dunno.
Kev?
Because we didn't score any goals, was
Right, exactly, because you didn't score any goals and there was practically no fire either. Now, why was that, eh, Kev?
Because we didn't have any fire.
Right, exactly, because you didn't have any fire. Now, this time I want lots, all right, of both. First, goals.
Goals.
You make ground, that's OK, that's all right, but you just never finish it off. You just pansy about. What do?
Just pansy about.
That's right, like a bunch of puffs. Like what?
A bunch of puffs.
That's right. What do?
Just pansy about.
Like
a bunch of puffs.
That's right. Sideways, that's no good. What do I want?
A bunch of puffs.
No, goals. Then there's fire. What we need this afternoon more than anything, except goals, is fire. Real fire, eh? Real team spirit, eh? Real team fire. Let's really go from the beginning to the end and mash them into mincemeat, eh? Let's do that. Let's mash them into mincemeat. What should we do?
Just pansy about.
Yeah. Into mincemeat. Into what?
Mincemeat.
That's right, mincemeat. Now, Kev.
Mincemeat.
All right, Kev. Anything to add?
Not really, boss. I think we need a bit more fire. Yeah.
Good boy. Pete?
I think just goals is all I've got to add.
OK, John?
Well, it might be called psychological pressurisation and tactical tomfoolery, but I do perceive that the inadequacies of our sub-society, i.e. the team, is founded on a certain lack of essential interfusion factors.
What?
In short, what we need is fire.
Oh, fire!
Fire and goals.
Goals and fire. Good boy.
Can't think of any other way of putting it. Fire and goals. I think
All
the
right,
facts
all right.
will tighten up a
Yeah,
bit instead of turning around.
all right, enough said. Men. You are men.
Yeah.
Today, prove it, eh? Or you'll just be what?
Goals.
No!
Fire.
No!
A bunch of puffs mashed up into mincemeat.
That's right, then get changed and get out there! Yeah!
And time now for our second request of the evening, and it comes from a Miss Fanny Burnley, who, by the looks of her address, lives just around the corner from the studios here at Radioactive. And she asked us to keep the noise down a bit. And she threatens legal action if we don't comply with her wishes. Well, so much for her, but right now on Radioactive, here's the first in a new series in which famous, well-known celebrities reminisce about their own personal lives. And the series we're going to call Personal Reminiscences of Famous Celebrities' Lives. This week, we hear from actress Petula Bennett-Jones.
I remember my days as an actress with particular fondness. And yet I can never quite forget the problems I encountered over certain dramatic techniques as they were then described. Naturalism and its implicit conversational style was always one such area of personal inadequacy as I recall. I should always try to act naturally as I was instructed, but somehow it all sounded so contrived. Especially I remember when I paused unnecessarily in these sentences. Quite unconsciously, I would sometimes apt for the wrong vowel or miss altogether and get the whole word completely melon. And that's when things began to get confusing and straightforward. I remember on another occasion, I was faulted, quite unjustifiably, by a director with whom I was working. He called me over and complained that I didn't Kobe hit all three before several all through, but... Well, quite naturally, I took no notice. Clarity of diction, indeed. I certainly told him what he could do with it in no unclear terms. Row dirty ass away. Still, looking back over the years in retrospect... In drama school, in rep, or wherever else one has worked, when one can look back at one's talents and see the culmination of a lifetime's prompt endeavours. Thank you.
Petula Bennett-Jones is a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company and is currently appearing in What No Pyjamas at the Whitehall Theatre. You're listening to Radioactive, and now time for our holiday spot.
Get sunshine and beaches and foreign diseases. We call them holiday spots. Holiday spots.
I've just come back from one of the most beautiful spots in the world. The food was incredibly cheap, the wine was incredibly cheap, and the women were incredibly good-looking. Suffice it to say that it was one of the most restful and idyllic times that I've ever spent in my life. But if you think I'm going to tell you lot where it is, you've got another bloody thing coming.
And another message from our traffic department here, which says that drivers on all roads are advised to keep their eyes open tonight, otherwise there could be some pretty nasty accidents. Radioactive. And a quick piece of regional news here, just come in. A local man, Mr. Arthur Smith, a tool fitter aged 33, with a wife and 2 children, has died today in a nuclear holocaust. And now on Radioactive, we welcome our resident doctor.
Good evening.
And agony columnist Joanna Jaundice.
Hi.
Who are here in the studio, ready to answer your calls if you have any personal, emotional or sexual problems.
Sexual, go on, say it, sexual problems.
Sexual problems.
That's right, no point in hiding these things.
No, so ring us now on this number.
4856242.
I'll just repeat that.
0110100 1009.
If you have any such problems...
Sexual problems.
Sexual problems. And while we're waiting for the first call, perhaps we can have a quick word with Joanna, who had a spot of bother with the old varicose veins recently, we understand.
OK, I had varicose veins, so what? Let's get going.
So, OK now, Joanna. Legs apart.
What?
I mean, apart from the legs.
Oh, yes, come on.
Right, well, our first caller is on the line, I understand, and it's a Dorothy of Clapham.
Hello, Dotty. What's your particular personal problem?
I wonder if you can help me, Joanna. I'm really at the end of my tether.
Well, that's what we're here for, lovey. Far away.
Well,
Well, it's my husband, you see. He's been having an affair with this other woman, you see, Joanna.
Dorothy, if I could just come in
Oh,
here...
do be quiet, for goodness sakes. Let us speak. Go on, dear.
Well, every time I try and talk to him about it, he starts threatening to walk out and leave me. I mean, I don't know what to do.
Well, you must do the only thing you can do, lovey, and that's to go straight up to him and ask him quite openly if he's seeing another woman. And if he admits it, then you'll just have to face facts, lovey. And my advice to you in that situation would be to kill him.
Oh, thank you.
Next.
Hello, Joanna.
Hello, caller. How can I help?
Well, my problem is that I'm impotent.
Yes. Yes, you have got a problem, haven't you? Next.
Hello?
Hello, understanding Joanna here. How can I help?
Well, I've been married and living in Croydon for 3 years now, and for the past few months I've been having an affair with another woman.
Yes, well, the 3-year period is particularly...
Oh, do shut up, for goodness sakes! Now, first things first, have you told your wife?
No, you see, I mean, if I
Look,
was...
the only way you're going to solve this problem, lovey, is to be completely honest with yourself and her, and that means telling her the whole story.
But she'd kill me if I did.
Caller, could I ask you just...
Oh, just shut it, can't you? Now, what's your name, lovey?
Well, I'd rather not disclose any
What's your
further.
name? You gave it to the receptionist?
Well, I did, but I'd rather...
Peter Bainbridge, I hear over my headphones, is that right?
Oh, no, you've got 'em bloody.
Mrs. Bainbridge, if you're listening, or if anyone's listening who knows her, perhaps they let her know that her husband is having an affair with another woman. It was just one, was it?
Oh, God, she's just come in.
Hello, Peter? Well, we seem to have lost him there for the minute, but I think we can safely say that Peter, that's Peter Bainbridge of Croydon, has been having an affair with at least one other woman. Of course, it could so easily be more. Doctor.
Yes?
Piss off! Hello? Hello, next caller?
Hello, Joanna. It's about my boyfriend.
What's he done now?
He wants to get engaged.
Kill him! Blow his brains out!
I want to get engaged too.
Well, marry him then.
But I'm only 14.
What?
We can't get engaged because we're both 14 and our parents won't allow it.
Kill him! Kill them all! Next caller on the line is Beatrix from Hounslow.
Hello, Joanna. It's about my dog.
Kill it! What? You can't keep animals in this world if your marriage is on the rocks.
But my marriage isn't on the rocks. I'm not even married.
Well, what are you wasting my time for, then?
Well, my dog is very ill.
Well, kill it!
But I love it.
Well, marry it, then! Look, 1, you've got to come to terms with your own sexuality sometime. 2, you must simply tell the dog that the relationship cannot exist unless you get your oats.
Well, that's where I'm going to have to stop you for now, Joanna.
Thank God.
As we're rapidly running out of time, just a few seconds to go, in fact, before the commercial break. So it's good night from Joanna.
Good night.
And good night from the doctor.
Good night.
Well, we seem to have come to the end of our all-night stint here on Radioactive, and all that remains is for me to remind you to be good to each other, to always look on the bright side, and remember that an owl in a sack troubles no man. OK, well, here's a real late-night listening treat for all you insomniacs who can't sleep, and it's going out to the Bone Crusher, Phil the Knife, the Nose Splitter, Dr. Death, Old Grunter, Old Fatty, Stinker, Slasher, Flasher, and Basher. And they're all members of the East Grinstead Christian Union. So, here with a track from their latest album, Water Having Passed, are Dobbin, Norris, and Gary Cribb, better known as the Heebie-Jeebies.
The golden rays of golden sun fall on your golden hair, and I brush aside the golden sheet and see you golden there. And I wonder what you and I are going to do all day, but I can't think of anything I want to do or say, and so I'll have to do what I did yesterday and sing you meaningless songs in very harmonious with 1,000 violins. Meaningless songs in very harmonious in a pair of tight gold jeans. Meaningless songs in very harmonious and whatever that means.
The world is very, very large, and
little scream.
Meaningless songs in very hot voices.
Peaches
Slumped with cream. Meaningless songs in very hot voices.
until the record ends. And when it does,
We'll simply start again, yelling meaningless words, meaningless words. Meaningless words, meaningless
Appearing in Radioactive were Helen Atkinson Wood, Angus Deaton, Geoffrey Perkins, Philip Pope and Michael Stevens. Music was by Philip Pope and the program was written by Richard Curtis, Angus Deaton and Geoffrey Perkins with additional material by David Jackson Young, Michael Stevens and the producer Jimmy Mulville.
Okay, Radio 4 continuity standby. Radioactive is just finishing. Okay, go.
That was Radioactive, entitled The Late Show with Mike Channel. We'll bring you more episodes of more radio shows in tomorrow's show in episode 4. In the next episode, we will be having a date with Chris. Listen to a band called Wet, 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 and a press conference between Mick Jagger and David Stewart, the composers of the 2004 movie soundtrack of Alfie. Stay tuned. This is Airchexx, and I'm your host, Ty Rosenau. Listen to us next time on the same channel.